Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel AWS Solutions Hub. First of all, I wish you a very happy new year. May this year be filled with laughter, love, and all good things life has to offer. Uh, Last few weeks, I was not able to post any new videos because of some personal things I was going through. But yes, I'm back, and let's start with our first video in this new year. Okay, so today we are going to see how to run shell commands on multiple AWS EC2 servers at the same time. So there are a lot of use cases, maybe where you want to run same command on multiple EC2 instances. Okay, there are many ways to do it. I mean, you can write your own script and you can get a list of your instance IDs, and through each instance ID logging into or RDP or SSH to each EC2 instance, and you can run that shell script command. uh, as I said, like, there are many approaches, but today I'm going to show you the best approach that I've come across. So today I'll explain you the use case and the practical, also how we are going to do it. We will be using mainly three services: EC2, system managers, and Lambda. Okay, so I'll explain you through diagram how it works. Going to use mainly three services. One is EC2, then we will use SSM. Okay, and the third service is Lambda. Okay. SSM, it's mainly a bridge. Okay, it's a bridge between EC2 and Lambda. Okay. uh, Lambda has a code, okay, that send command to SSM, and SSM will run those commands. Okay. What we are going to do in this exercise, okay, we will have one EC2 instance, okay, and we will get one role attached to it, that we call it as the instance profile, correct? And this role has permissions for SSM and CloudWatch. CloudWatch we will use for the logging purpose. Okay. Once our EC2 setup is done, and we will spin up two EC2 instances. The reason I'm saying two EC2 instances is, as I said, like, you want to send these commands to multiple EC2 servers, right? So we will test if it is sending these commands to multiple EC2 servers or not. That's the reason I'm getting two EC2 instances. Okay. Then we will jump to SSM. Okay. As a testing, just to test if we are able to send the commands from SSM or not. So we will go to the SSM console, and manually we will try to run command. Okay, and this command will be triggered to the EC2 instance. Okay, that is run. But eventually what we want to do is, we want to, through Lambda, we want to send these commands. And once this testing is done, SSM testing is done, then we will go to the Lambda, write our code that will send instructions to SSM, and SSM will send those commands to EC2. Okay, I hope you have understood what we are going to do. And one more thing I missed, even Lambda needs permissions. Okay, so we are going to have one execution role attached to Lambda, and that execution rule has permission for SSM. Okay, like send command, we want to list the command, so then list command permissions we will give. Okay, so that is how the complete exercise looks like. So without further ado, um, let's jump to our exercise. Start with our exercise. As I said, like we are going to spin up two EC2 instances first and attach permissions to those EC2 instances through instance profile. So let's start. I'll do launch instance. I'll name it as test server. Okay. I use additional tags here. Okay. As I said, like I'll use, since I'm doing this for the YouTube purpose, so I'm using this tag so that it becomes easy for me to delete these instances later. That should be enough for this exercise. Then we will use Amazon Linux here as our AMI. I'll go with T2 Micro. Okay, I don't need the EC2 key pair name because I'm going to connect to this instance using instance connect. Okay, before that let me check if subnet. Okay, we have to go into the public subnet, so I'll specifically choose. Okay, even though it is saying private subnet, but ideally I mean I have configured this subnet as the public subnet. I'll show you just for your knowledge. I have attached one internet gateway while I was doing some testing. So even though the name is private subnet, but it is public subnet. So I am spinning up this EC2 instance in public subnet very specifically so that I can connect to that EC2 instance, and rest of the settings I will keep it as it is, and I'll launch the instance. Okay. Okay, it is asking, even though you want to connect through instance connect, the EC2 key pair is mandatory. So I've selected that, and let's launch instance. We will wait for this instance to come up. I will meanwhile I'll launch another instance. Okay. Let's call it test server 2. Okay, and as additional tags I will do YouTube. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in the SSM, I will ask SSM to list all the EC2 instances which has tag purpose and value as YouTube, and run specific command on all those EC2 instances. Okay, so let's do that. So when we will be doing it, you guys will understand what exactly I mean. And let's launch. So let's wait for these instances to come up, and once they are in the available state, I will start again. Okay. Okay, so our instances are in OK state now. So what we will do is we will connect one of the instance, and why we are connecting to this instance, to verify if SSM agent is installed or not, because um, in this exercise you need to have SSM agent installed. There is one more thing to consider, guys. If you are using Windows instance, then SSM agent not come pre-installed. Even not all Linux machines, AMI machines, come with pre-installed SSM agent installed. So I'll give the installation instructions page in the description, and you can follow that to install SSM agent if it is not already installed. But the AMI I'm using, it has already a pre-installed SSM agent. So I'm just verifying if it is active and running or not. Okay. So I'm in my EC2 instance. So I will do is SSM systemctl status Amazon SSM agent. There is a spell mistake. Sorry, system ctls, that should be okay. So you can see it is a pre-installed SSM agent and status is active running. But as I said, like if you are using AMI which doesn't have SSM agent pre-installed, I will give you a link in description. Using that, you can install the SSM agent. If you face any issues during the installation of SSM agent, do let me know through comments and I'll try to help you there. Okay, so SSM agent is installed. Let's try to verify that in the another instance also. Okay, sudo systemctl status Amazon SSM agent. Yes, here also it is active and running. Okay, our next step is to create IAM role. Okay, so we will create IAM role. This IAM role we are going to attach it to the EC2 instance. Okay, so let's do create role. We are creating it for EC2. Next, and the permissions. Okay, there are 3 permissions you need. Okay, SSM managed instance core, Amazon EC2 role for SSM. These are 2 for the SSM, and as I said, like we are going to log all the output into CloudWatch. So there is one more that we need, CloudWatch agent server policy. Okay, attach these 3 policies. Okay, let's give it a name, EC2 SSM lambda or SSM integration role. Okay, and let's create role. Now the role is created. Let's go to our EC2 instance. Let's go actions, security, modify IAM role. Okay, we have this role here, EC2 SSM integration role, and let's update IAM role. So we have done it to the server 2. Let's do it for server 1 also. Security, modify IAM role, and we are going to attach the same role. Okay, with this, the SSM should be able to access these servers. So let's verify that, and to verify that, we are going to go into systems manager. As I said, like we are going to run command. Okay, so let's go into run command, and we are doing it specifically to run the shell script command. Okay, so there is already one template. Okay, if you want to, if you are using Windows, then make sure you are using the run PowerShell script, but since it is Linux I'm using, you can clearly see here. Okay, so I'm using run shell script. Okay, we are going to go with the default version. You can maintain the versions also. So let's do like mkdir, or this is for the testing purpose, so let's do echo hello, just to see if it is success. If this command execution is successful, then basically it is trying to send this command to EC2 instance and it is working fine. That confirms it. Okay, just to see if we are getting the list of servers here. Okay, maybe it will take some time. So one thing I have seen, maybe you can try it also. If it doesn't reflect, ideally it should be reflecting by this time now, but if it is not reflecting, let's try to refresh and see it one more time. Shell, I'll tell you what to do if it is still not reflecting. Hello world, choose. Okay, let's try to reboot these instances and let's see if it is reflecting. Okay, so let's go to run command again. Run command. Let's select a template to run the shell script command. We are going to do echo hello world and let's choose instances. Okay, so as I said, like if it is not reflecting by default, then try to reboot the EC2 servers and they should be here. Okay, but we are not going to choose this manually. What we are going to do is we are going to do it through the uh, tags, and if you remember, I have tagged both of these EC2 instances, a unique tag basically purpose as YouTube, and I'm going to use the same. So basically what I'm saying here is all EC2 servers which has key as purpose and value as YouTube in their tag, okay, run this echo hello world to all those EC2 instances. Okay, and that is all about our use case. Okay, right now we are not using any S3 bucket to store any output. We will not enable CloudWatch for now. Okay, and let's try to see if it is executing successfully. Okay, yes, and both of the executions are success, and you can see here it is saying overall status and detailed status. Okay, the overall status just tell you success or failed, but the detailed status will give you more details about if anything is failing. One of the status I have seen while experimenting this exercise was like it was not able to find the instances with those tags. So even though the status was success, but the detailed status was saying no resources or instances with tags, something like that. So detailed status will give you more details about the actual stages it passes through. Okay, there is a separate AWS documentation page which talks about this detailed status. I'll give that page in the description. You can refer what all stages and status it has as part of detailed status. Okay, but our execution is successful. It is reaching out to those EC2 instances and running the hello world. I mean, you cannot see that on the instances, but clearly it is giving success, so it is definitely working fine. Okay, now the next thing we have to do is, okay, we have to now integrate this with lambda, correct? So we will create a lambda function. Let's give it a name EC2, or instead of saying ECSSM, lambda integration. Okay, we are going to use Python, and okay, we have to create a new role. Okay, so we'll go with that, create new role with basic lambda permissions, and we will attach SSM permissions to the same role. Enable tags, I'll add a tag YouTube. This is optional if you want to add it or not, but as I said, like I use since I'm doing this for the YouTube purpose, so that it becomes easy for me to delete these resources later and identify them. So I'll create the function. Okay. I have already have got the code for this, so I'll explain you what I've got it here. Okay. Mm, Before even going to code, as I said, like Lambda needs permissions for SSM. Let's do that first. Okay. So I've gone to configuration permissions, and here it has created a role with basic permissions, and when I clicked, it has opened it into new window. And what we are going to create inline policy, choose service system manager. And as I said, like we need three commands. We want to send the commands to SSM, we want to list command. Okay. And there is list command invocations. And why do we need list command invocations and list command? Basically, if you programmatically, if you want to know if command execution is successful or not, so you will iterate. Okay. Every 5 seconds. Okay. You will check the status of the command and you will loop through that. Okay. That is the reason we need list command. List command will give us the status. I'll explain you while explaining the code. Let's give it a name, SSM lambda integration, and create policy. Okay, our lambda is also set from a permissions perspective. So let's understand the code. Okay. The code is very simple. Okay. So I'm connecting to SSM through boto3 library, and you can see here. Okay, document we are going to use run. Try to refer it to what we did manually during the system managers. Okay, so we use this document, correct, run shell script. And here I'm specifically trying to create a folder called test2. So if you see right now, there is no folder called test2 in any of the instances since we have done the restart. I'm not sure. Okay, let me reconnect these EC2 instances. I'll connect one of these just to show you there is no existing folder called test or test2. Okay. So if I do ls, um, home EC2 is my present directory, and as a part of the lambda function in the present directory, I'm trying to create the test2 folder. But if you see now, there is no folder called test2. Okay. So this will create a test2 folder. Okay, in both of these EC2 instances. Okay. And it will filter out these EC2 instances based on the tags. So tag is purpose and value is YouTube, and we are going to enable the logs. So it is going to create the output of this command in this log. Okay. uh, Once we execute it, you will come to know. Okay. And as I said, like once the command is sent, we are using send command. So once the command is sent to the SSM will take some time to execute that command. So programmatically, if you want to see if that command has been successfully executed or not, so we need, okay, command ID. We will get it through the response. Okay. We will do the list command invocation. Okay. List command invocation has a status instance ID. We will take that and we'll try to see the status is success or not. If status is success, then it will break, otherwise it will keep on waiting till the command is successful. Okay. So that's how it works. um, so let's try to execute this. Okay. Again, I'm running this lambda here manually as doing the test, but what you can do is you can again integrate this as a part of event whenever there is, if we have a requirement. Suppose whenever there is a new instance come up as a part of dev environment and test environment, and there has to be one specific folder on those servers. Yes, you can through the as a part of event driven architecture you can implement that, but your basic what you need for this is definitely here. I've already explained you. Okay, so let's do test. I'll give it an MS test, so we don't need this any parameters. Okay, and let's invoke this. Let's see how it goes. And at the same time, let's try to open the CloudWatch also, so we understand the uh, outputs. Meanwhile, it is opening. Okay, okay. We are seeing some timeout error. Before we resolve that timeout error, okay, let's go to CloudWatch and let's see if log groups are created or not. Okay, you can see. Okay, so there are two log groups are created. This is for lambda and this is for the command that we are executing, like mkdir. Okay, so here what we have got, okay, there are no log stems because the command itself hasn't been executed, and the reason it has not executed because lambda has timed out. Okay, and we can see here timeout. So to resolve that, go to configuration, general, go to edit, and you can keep it 2 minutes. That should be enough since we are just doing the directory creation, but based upon your lambda complexity you can increase this timeout. Okay, so since this is done, let's try to rerun lambda. Test, we do this and invoke. Okay, the status is succeeded. And how we can verify it, since we are already into one of the instances, if I do list, and you can see test2 directory is created, and the same directory should be present into test2 also. Let's try to verify that also. So let's do ls-l, and you can see test2 is created into both of the EC2 servers. Okay, let's verify logs now. So lambda has another logs created. Okay, instance id status is, maybe it's previous one, I don't know. It is saying 3033, we executed on 34, but let's try to see the logs for the command. Okay, it has got some logs for the command execution. Okay, cannot create directory file exist. I'm not sure why it is saying that, though it was not existing and it has created the test directory. Let's try to, if that is the case, what we will do is, let's do mkdir/on. Let's create YouTube. I'll attach some letters to it. Okay, let's see what happens. Deployment is successful. Let's test. Okay, so we will just invoke the same execution. It is going through. Okay, it is here, it is saying succeeded. Let's come here and let's see. Okay, the directory is created. Let's try to verify that in another instance. Even here the test directory is created. Let's observe the logs now. It is saying, talking about test2, definitely this log is not refreshed. Hmm, why it is not logging? Okay, let's try to observe the lambda logs. Let's see what we have got there. Okay, 1635. Let's go here. Okay, it is saying success. So definitely the command's execution has been successful. But right now I'm not sure why it is not logged here. The new directory that we try to create. Okay, but the execution has been successful. You guys can clearly see it here, but somehow these logs are not uh, updated. I don't know if it takes some time or not, but yeah, our intention to create the directory in both of the EC2 instances at one time is successful. I hope you have learned today how to run shell script commands simultaneously on EC2 instances. This exercise is very helpful. As I said, like if you have group of instances, for example dev environment, test environment, or production environment, and you want to run very specific commands to each group, then definitely this integration is going to be very helpful for you guys. Okay, with that I am um, done with this exercise. I hope you have learned something new today, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you, and please subscribe to my channel, so then this gives me motivation to upload more and more videos and bring new exercises for you. So I need your help and support to grow this channel. So please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.